Okay, William Studstill here at the Y. Here are my 5 friends for my persuasive speech. 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Have you ever seen a woman breastfeeding in public and your initial reaction is that it was unacceptable or gross? Our modern American culture feels this way because of socialization. I used to feel this way before I was educated on the subject and before I had 2 children whom my wife breastfed exclusively for the first 6 months of life. Breastfeeding exclusively for the first 6 months of life is best for mother, the baby, and society. My wife and I have 2 children that were breastfed exclusively for the first 6 months of life, and we have seen the benefits as well. We also have done extensive research on the subject that proves this idea. Breast milk has been clinically proven to prevent obesity, diabetes, cancer, and osteoporosis, to name a few. It makes humans more intelligent and happier. It destroys harmful bacteria it comes in contact with. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that babies be exclusively breastfed for the first 6 months of life. However, according to the National Immunization Survey, only 7.9% of all women breastfeed their children. Most people are unaware that deciding to breastfeed hurts the infant, mother, and society. I became interested in breastfeeding during research my wife and I did prior to my son's birth. My wife knew she wanted to breastfeed our son because in her native country of Brazil, that is what the women did. However, she knew it would not work without my support. We researched the topic, and in the process, we became activists in our sphere of influence. Today, I hope to convince you to believe that breastfeeding exclusively for the first 6 months of life is best for infant, mother, and society. Social knowledge of the subject of breastfeeding is necessary to promote health in mother and in the child. Breastfeeding is the best thing you can do for an infant in the first 6 months of life. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, in breastfeeding and the use of human milk policy statement, breastfeeding is essential for the immune system of babies 6 months and under. Babies do not have a fully developed immune system for the first 6 months of life. Breast milk has special proteins that develop the baby's immune system. As soon as the baby is exposed to viruses, it passes it to the mother through breastfeeding. Within hours, the mother produces the needed antibodies to protect herself and the child from the disease. According to Dr. John Anderson in the article Advantages of Breastfeeding, breastfeeding enhances development and intelligence. Breastfed babies score higher on IQ tests at age 7 and 8 years old. The psychomotor and social development of breastfed babies differ from formula-fed babies. Breastfed babies have significant advantages in psychomotor and social capabilities. Breastfed babies are less likely to develop illnesses in childhood and in adulthood. In the journal Breastfed Medicine, Dr. David Meyer states that breastfeeding provides short-term benefits for infants. Breastfed babies show lower frequency of common illnesses such as vomiting, diarrhea, and ear infections. Breastfed babies also have a shorter duration of common illnesses as well. Breastfed babies are less likely to develop serious illnesses as children and adults. In the article, The Advantages of Breastfeeding, the risk of artificially fed children developing cancer before the age of 15 was higher than that in breastfed children. Breastfeeding prevents bone disease such as cavities, osteoporosis, and rheumatism. According to Dr. Anderson, breastfed babies are less likely to develop diabetes. Children who were breastfed have a 34% lower risk of developing diabetes than those who were not. Children given formula were 52% more likely to develop diabetes than those that were breastfed. Now let's see how the mother is impacted from breastfeeding. Breastfeeding helps mother get rid of baby weight and get their body back to normal. Breastfeeding burns 500 extra calories a day. Breastfeeding causes the uterus to contract and return to its normal size of a fist. During pregnancy, the uterus grows to the size of a basketball. During breastfeeding, the hormone oxytocin is released and causes the uterus to go back to its original fifth size. In the advantages of breastfeeding, Dr. Anderson says the longer the mother breastfeeds, the longer the health benefits for her are as well. Breastfeeding reduces the risk of breast and ovarian cancer for the mother. Breastfeeding reduces the risk of high cholesterol and high blood pressure. Breastfeeding reduces the risk of osteoporosis after menopause in the woman. Breastfeeding makes the mother feel better during the first 6 months of the baby's life. The hormone oxytocin helps the mother feel relaxed and happy. The bonding during breastfeeding makes the mother relax and receive affection from her baby. Some young mothers feel scared about breastfeeding. If a mother is feeling scared or having trouble breastfeeding, she can meet with a nurse lactationer, who I have pictured here with a young mother. Breastfeeding is also great for society. Families save $800 to $1,200 per year by not purchasing formula. Other women work and feel that they cannot nurse their children. In this case, they can purchase a breast pump, which I have pictured here, which is what my wife did when she worked. And on her break, she would pump the milk, and then we would freeze it and give it to our babysitter. Breastfeeding saves money in future health costs of the mother and in the child as well. In Dr. Zantry's article, The Cost Benefit of Breastfeeding, it would save $4.1 billion in the U.S. if more mothers nurse. In the state program called WIC in the state of Tennessee, which stands for Women, Infant, and Children, breastfeeding costs the state of Tennessee $2.7 million a year in formula. In the article, Family Violence and Breastfeeding, it states that breastfeeding reduces the instances of child abuse. We have discussed how breastfeeding is best for the baby, infant, and for society. Breastfeeding is essential for healthy development. Breastfeeding is the best choice for mothers. Breastfeeding is also the best for society. You must understand how important your stand on breastfeeding is. Your opinion will influence a mother on her decision to breastfeed. We all have a part to play in seeing the percentage of babies breastfed babies grow from 7.9% to 90%. How you think and what you say can make or break a young mother's decision to breastfeed. Use your influence wisely and help a child get the best start for a healthy life, preventing them from developing obesity, diabetes, and even cancer. I encourage you to study the subject for yourself and encourage young women to breastfeed their children. The sacrifice you make for a healthier self and for your child can save you time and money in future doctor visits. You have something in your control, and it's called choice. I encourage you today to use your choice to educate yourself and to encourage women to breastfeed. And now you can also see that it's not inappropriate for a woman to breastfeed her child in public. Thank you. All right, got a few applauses here, huh? Nice.